how does a fair and just society weigh bondholder debt against pension debt, against taxpayers' obligation and willingness to pay? That's a tricky problem.
Well, pensions and labor issues are always very sensitive in bankruptcy. And it's even more sensitive in pensions because, at least theoretically, you can say people extended their services in consideration of getting these pensions and retirement benefits, and now they live on that. And if you take those away, what happens to these people? So there's an issue of what is the equitable thing to do. But unfortunately, in the bankruptcy law, there is no difference between a rejected pension, when I say rejected, breached pension, and a general unsecured claim. Mm-hmm. So is there going to be some special treatment for the pensioners? I mean, I think I saw an article by Steve Ratner saying you got to do something for the pensioners. And a lot of people believe that. Then you have the general obligation bonds, you have special pledge revenues. All of these are tremendous problems that have to be ironed out.
Mm. What do you suppose is going to be the long-term impact on the municipal bond markets? Are they going to be forever spooked from a case like this?
Well, the underlying thought was always that cities would not take advantage of Chapter 9 because they would never have the ability to access the credit markets again. I'm not so sure that's valid. I think it makes it more difficult to access the credit markets. But if you have a multitude of cities that do take advantage of Chapter 9, which is not a pleasant process, credit markets are very pragmatic. Mm-hmm. And if there are bonds that are being offered or whatever it may be that are supported by a good economic plan and a decent yield, I think they'll be able to access the markets in the long run.
Mm. Looking at this situation, a lot of people are trying to figure out if this is something that's particular to the city of Detroit or if this is really a nationwide problem. What do you think? Are we going to see more large cities file Chapter 9 in the near term?
It all depends on the problems. I mean, if you look at other Chapter 9 cases, Jefferson County, a peculiar problem with the sewage bonds. Mm-hmm. If you look at other Chapter 9s, they're particular problems. This is a very general problem. Mm. And like a Chapter 11, which you're familiar with, is there a reorganizable unit here? That's going to be the big issue. And there's going to be a lot of legal fighting in this. You know, 1/3 of all Chapter 9 petitions are dismissed.
Right. A lot of people are trying to figure out whether this case is going to get dismissed in the near term. How long, assuming it doesn't, how long do you expect this restructuring to take? Is it going to be like Asbury Park where it's 35 years?
Well, under Chapter 9, as it's now on the books, the judge fixes the time when they have to file a plan. And if they don't file a plan within that fixed period of time, the option is to dismiss the case. But I don't know how you dismiss the case without some solution to the problems. Mm. And it's not strictly a deleveraging problem.
All right, and if we put you in a judge's robe right now, what number would you come up with? That's got to be an awfully difficult conversation to have in chambers.
It should be in courtroom, but putting that aside, it's going to be a long case.